Hello class, welcome to the additional sample problem that I have for the Newton's second law of motion. So earlier we already in the previous topics we discussed about the horizontal, vertical, and incline of singular block, singular object. Now shown you is a bit more complex problem nga naatay duha ka block nga consider. It means that there are two acceleration. So the problem is like this: the coefficient of kinetic friction under 200-pound block. So this is the 200 pounds nga block. Coefficient of kinetic friction here and the plane is 0.2. And then the pulleys are assumed to be frictionless, this one here, and weightless, also the cable. So we were asked what is the acceleration of each block and tension in each cable. So natay duha ka acceleration. So this one natay acceleration here. Let's say this is block 1 and then this is block 2. So we have acceleration 1 here and then acceleration 2 here. So the direction of the acceleration 2 is downward. Okay. So what do we have here pa? So natay friction. So if the acceleration of this block is towards this side, therefore the friction has this property. This is the normal force. We also have the tension of the cable. So natin do ka cable, this one and this one. Let's say this is tension 1. This is tension 1 because they are just the same cable. And then this is a separate cable. Let's say this is tension 2. So this is a dynamics problem. So acceleration is involved. So kung asa ang direction sa acceleration, kato nga force dito, ato equate sa mass times acceleration. Okay, so unsa may buhaton na to, then let's create an FBD of the problem. So let's say I would like to create an FBD first of block 1. So the FBD of this block 1 looks like this. So naatay weight, no? So 200 pounds. So the weight of the block is 200 pounds. And then naatay tension 1 here. That is 30 degrees incline. Friction, this is also 30 degrees. The N, the normal force, 30 degrees also from the vertical or the y-axis. Again, para mas dali na to siya ma-solve, we rotate it clockwise 30 degrees. So I will be drawing a new FBD. So the new FBD, and let's call also this one the X and the Y. So we have here the normal force N, and then the tension 1 here, the friction, and then our weight na 200 pounds, ni-rotate siya paingon diri. So this is now the 200 pounds, and that is 30 degrees from Y. So take note that the direction of the acceleration is towards here. So then therefore, we can safely assume that the summation of forces along Y here is just equal to 0. Then we can solve for N. N is equal to 200 cosine 30. And then therefore we have N is equal to 200 cosine 30. 173.205 pounds. So this is an imperial unit. So if we have already N, then we can get the friction, which is equal to kinetic of coefficient of kinetic friction mu k times the normal force. So that is 0.20 times normal force 173.205. Then our friction is just equal to 173.205 times 0.2. We have a friction equal to 34.641 Newton. So this is for the block 1. Now we sum forces along x. So summation of forces along x is the man paingon ang acceleration, then that is equal to mass times acceleration along x. Or let's say this is A1, so let's name this as A1. So forces along x, we have the tension 1 minus the friction minus 200 pounds sine 30 is equal to the mass. So this is 200 pounds, this is the weight. So i-divide na nato sa gravitational acceleration. So gravitational acceleration in the imperial system is just equal to 32.2 foot per second squared. So ang weight para mo na itong mass, ang weight i-divide na to sa gravitational acceleration is 100 over 32.2 times the acceleration 1. Summarizing the for further this equation, we have T1 minus F 34.641 minus 200 sine 30, that is 100, equals to 200 over 32.2 A1. Then we have T1 minus 134.641 just equal to 200 over 32.2 A1. Let's say this is our equation 1. Next, unsay buhaton na to? Create an FBD for the second one. So FBD for block 2. So before that, ako i-duha ka i-drawing na FBD here at this pulley and then this one. So for the pulley, nakaanaw na siya, natay tension here and then apoy tension 3. This is tension 1, then this is tension 1, then this is tension 2. So from this one, we can conclude that tension 2 is equal to 2T1. Okay, now let's draw the FBD for the second block, block 2. So we have a weight of 300 pounds and tension 2 here. So acceleration is along the y-axis downward. Let's say this is acceleration 2. So summation of forces along y is equal to the mass times the acceleration along y. So this is T2 minus 300 pounds is just equal to the mass is 300 pounds over 32.2 A. So this is the acceleration moves downward. So this is negative A2. To get rid of the negative sign, we multiply the whole equation with negative 1. Then therefore we have an equation. Our equation then becomes negative T2 plus 300 which is equal to negative, this is 300 over 32.2 A2. So this becomes then our equation 2. So ako isulat again. Our equation 1 is T1 minus 134.641 equals to 200 over 32.2 A1. Ang equation 2 na to is negative T2 plus 300 is equal to 300 over 32.282. So we have 4 unknowns, 1, 2, 3, 4. It means that we need 4 equation to solve this problem. So we already have our equation 3. This one, this relationship. T2 is equal to 2T1. Since natin na-establish na relationship ng tension 1 ug ng tension 2, makita na po na relationship si acceleration. Okay, yun sa may relationship nila. We know that acceleration 1 moves that way, right? That is A1. And then this is the acceleration 2. Since they are one system, they have a relationship. So, ang nasa relationship, kani siya nga kuan. System. So, this is inclined at 30 degrees. So, this is opposite over hypotenuse. This is trigonometric function. Sine 30 is equal to opposite A2 over hypotenuse A1. So, A2 is just equal to A1 sine 30. And sine 30 is just 1/2. Therefore, our A2 is just equal to 1/2 of acceleration 1. So, this will be our equation for acceleration 2 is equal to 1/2 A1. So, I would like to get rid of T2 and A1 by substituting these equations here. So our new equation 2 becomes negative 2t1 plus 300 is equal to 300 over 32.2 times 1 half a1. This is our equation 1. To solve this, we already have 1, 2. So we only have two unknowns. So 1 and 2. And then to solve two unknowns, we need two equation. We have two equation. Then therefore, we can solve this by elimination. So this is, I want to eliminate the tension. So this is negative 2. Kaya mas dali man siya eliminate. Then I would like to multiply equation 1 with 2 times 2. So equation 1 then becomes 2t1 minus 134.641 times 2. 269.282 equals to 400 over 32.2 a1. So by adding these two equations, cancel out na siya. This one, 300 minus 269.282 becomes 30.718 is equal to 300 over 32.2 times 1 half, that is 150 over 32.2 plus 400. This becomes 550 over 32.2 a1. We can solve for a1, which is equal to, so 30.718 times 32.2 divided by 550. Our acceleration 1 is equal to 1.798 foot per second squared. Since we have a relationship that acceleration 2 is just equal to half of a1, so ato lang i-divide to 1.798 divided by 2. Therefore, our acceleration 2 is equal to 0.899 foot per second squared. So, na natin acceleration ni block 1 o ni acceleration ni block 2. Now, we were asked what is tension 1 and tension 2. So, sa man nga equation akong gamiton, let's say I would like to use this equation to solve for tension 1. So I rewrite the equation here. We have T1, tension 1 minus 134.641 is equal to 200 over 32.2 times A1 na to is 1.798. Then from this equation, we can solve that tension 1 is just equal to 200 times 1.798 over 32.2 plus 134.641. That is 145.809 pounds. And then we know that tension 2 is twice of tension 1. Then we ato na i-times so 145.809 times 2. Then our tension 2 is just equal to 291.618 pounds. So this is the answer to the problem. So naay 2 blocks, therefore naay 2 ka acceleration. Therefore we solve the kinetic equations. We solve the acceleration for the 200 pounds. We apply the Newton's laws of motion, the second Newton's law of motion on the block 1 and on the block 2. And then we came out with this basic algebraic problem until we figure out the acceleration of the first block and the acceleration of the second block. And then the tension of the cable, this one, and the tension of this cable to make the system moves. Okay, so if you have any questions, clarifications, or doubt, please do not hesitate to PM me so I can explain it more to you, to clarify things to you.